Milan and Balance cruised towards parity. At times in the early stages of the first day at Emerald Headingley, it looked like Sussex would be skittled for a paltry total, but they were rescued by their skipper. Ben Brown's 100 pulled them back from the precipice and dragged them back into the game. But his vigil was at an end not long after the game got back underway, caught behind off the bowling of Code, even if he couldn't quite believe it. It gave the captain the opportunity to watch one of his young charges from the Headingley dressing room. He was batting well, and before long the 16-year-old debutant Daniel Ibrahim had played his way to a 50, a great way to get his first-class career up and running, the knock a well-deserved one. He couldn't get much further than that though, the score pushing 300 when he was out to Code, caught at slip. Carson and Mika ticked off the runs necessary to reach 300, but that's about all Mika could contribute. He was Sussex's 8th wicket, bowled by Patterson for 9. Crocombe followed in the next over, LBW to Willie for 1. Sussex now with just one more wicket in hand, and Willie wrapped it up in the field, Atkins sneaking out of his ground, and the stumps found by his throw. Sussex all out for 313. The innings had revolved around Ben Brown, but his ton was only part of the story. His partnerships with Thomason and then Ibrahim had stopped Yorkshire in their tracks, and it was lovely to see the 16-year-old's intelligent batting rewarded with a 50. Yorkshire had turned to Thompson when they were in need. He finished with 3 for 53. Yorkshire got off to a solid start in what remained before lunch. 26 runs added in 6 overs, the openers still together at the break. Lyth and Kohler Cadmore resumed in the same confident mood. It wasn't long before they put on 50, and their attention turned to triple figures for Yorkshire. With the score into the 80s, Sussex had their first wicket. Kohler Cadmore out LBW, Ibrahim with his maiden first-class scalp, another moment to remember for the lad on debut. And it would be another teenager to take the other opener's wicket. Lyth too short of a 50 when he was out to Jamie Atkins, leg stump taken out of the ground. Milan and Balance were back together for Yorkshire and took their side to 100 runs, and they kept on going. The international experience of both men told as Sussex struggled to build on their inroads, the partnership growing throughout the session. It was worth 50 before the break. The pair headed into the tea interval in confident mood, the score 153 for 2. Milan marked his return to Yorkshire with a 50. The landmark came after tea. A streaky edge off Atkins for 4 took him to the milestone. He and Balance ploughed on, their partnership worth 100 runs as they closed in on the team 200. The pair got there still together. Sussex's total was now starting to come into focus thanks to the third wicket partners. A boundary down the ground from Balance saw him join Milan on 50 runs. His knock a more watchful one, the half-century sealed of 143 balls. It wouldn't be long before the score was past 250. Sussex left scratching their heads as the pair dealt with everything they threw at them. Milan was in the 90s as the day headed towards the close, and there would be enough time for him to get there. The world #1 T20 batsman showed he can do it in all formats. 4 runs took him to the century, his return a welcome one for Yorkshire. The day came to an end a few balls later, the score 272 for 2, and Yorkshire now trailing by just 41 runs. Ben Brown's fight back to take Sussex to 300 now looks a distant memory. The hosts look set for a lead on day 3. Just how big will that be?